Wah, 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 wah. Hi. Hello, girls, gays, and theys, and I guess the rest of you. How are we doing today? I I I don't know that I have a report on how I feel today. It's like mostly just like not great. I mean, that autism moment where you're like, I don't know. I don't think I feel good, but I don't know specifically what I feel bad, so I guess I'm fine. Anyway, yeah, sorry, the website chat doesn't work better on mobile. We've known about that issue for a long time, and apparently, I don't know if it's a solvable problem or not. But I just work here. I have a White Forest website, and oh my God, what is her name? White Nervosa. She maintains it for a nominal fee. She hasn't requested anything from me on PayPal in a while. I should check with her and be like, hey, I think one time you requested money from me and I forgot to pay you, and then you didn't send me another request the following quarter. So do you need me to pay you, or what's the deal? I find myself in need of more energy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely feeling like a low energy kind of situation, you know. But hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. The YouTube chat is bumping today. Quantum Chaos, hello. And Darius Rosethorn, Carve Rest, Banana Brains, Mr. Joseph, Blue Phoenix, Demi Fiend, fascinating name, Fragged Locust, String. Hello, 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 everybody. Finally, Daisy. Hi, how's it going? And then on the website chat, this is not Twitch over here. This is my website chat, luxandra.net/live. If you want to come over here, you can. I do try to give attention to both YouTube and website chats. But over on the website chat, you can set your pronouns. So when people hover over your name, they can see your pronouns. And also, if you send me money directly on my website, I actually get like all of it. And YouTube doesn't take 30% of it. And I also get it tomorrow instead of next month. So those are all reasons to come over to the website. What do you think of the freezing fog advisory for the valley? Listen, I really didn't expect myself to be a person who's like, I love how foggy it is, but I do. I love how foggy it's been. I don't really love like freezing fog necessarily because it just makes it dangerous to drive. Oh my God, my hair needs to calm down. I like showered yesterday, but I was like, I don't need to wash my hair. And then it got really greasy overnight. So my hair is just a little greasy looking. Sorry about that. Hello, Jenna. Hello, Faulty Branches. Viren, Cliff, Ashray, Shakes Bear. Hello, hello. Demi Fiend is based on Demi Fiend, which is my favorite video game character. Hell yes. Hell yes. But yeah, I actually really like the spooky, foggy weather. It did used to get foggy sometimes back where I'm from, but it was just like more few and far between, and usually it would clear up. You know, if it was foggy in the morning, it would clear up by daytime. But here, there are days where it's just foggy all day long. Like, I go out in the middle of the day to do stuff, and it's like it's just still foggy. So that's pretty cool. I don't hate it. Couldn't sleep last night and got a lot of stuff done. Dealing with more manic periods is rough. Yikes. Yeah, that's tough. I struggle a little bit with some of the you're supposed to do this stuff of the sleep hygiene. You know, like generally what I understand is you don't want to stay in bed. If you are like not able to sleep, you should get up and go do something. But then there's, for sleep hygiene purposes, so that your brain doesn't associate your bed with like anxiously sitting there trying to sleep, right? But then there's also that the Mythbusters found that if you just lie down for 30 minutes, that is restful, even if you don't fall asleep. So I kind of yo-yo back and forth with what I should be doing. And every night when I go to bed, I put on an audiobook for usually either 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And I feel like if I'm still awake by the end of that, I should get up. But sometimes my partner and I are still cuddling at that time of the night. So I don't know. Also, this is a random question. But I had my COVID and flu vaccines done on like Thursday last week. And today and yesterday, I've been feeling like I have some congestion. And I don't know, is that, can the vaccine and like you getting used to having the vaccine, can you still be feeling like symptoms for like almost a week afterwards? I know it takes 2 weeks for it to become fully effective when you get vaccinated, but I'm just like, why do I sound slightly congested? And I had like a slightly sore throat. I've been taking allergy medicine too, so that has helped, at least with the sore throat part. And Darius, welcome to the website. I'm in Halifax. It does the fog thing here too. Listen, foggy weather, it's a little spoopy, but that's kind of what I like about it. I don't want to make everybody jealous, but it's very, very cute outside my bedroom window. It's very spoopy and foggy, and we like it. We like it. We enjoy. Foggy days, add some New England village names, some strange peoples, the whispers of occult languages, and Cthulhu. Yeah, totally. You like my nails? I painted them and I have shitty nail polish, so it's really thin, and I decided I didn't want to wait 10 years for it to dry, so I put on a shitty thin, 2 thin layers, so you can definitely see my nails underneath it. But listen, it's just vibes. I was in need of some vibes. I love the werewolf weather. I would not have described it that way, but I see what you mean. Spoopy vibes, things shifting in the... I guess it's like Sasquatch weather here in the Pacific Northwest. Like it's peak weather for the Squatch. Oh, man. So how has everybody been? I saw you all on Wednesday, or no, today's Wednesday. I saw you all on Sunday. Now it's Wednesday. So the week has begun. The horrors are commencing. As I understand it, things have been ramping up in terms of like ICE deployment in Minneapolis. I saw that Kristi Noem has been employing the phrase "one of ours, all of yours," which is great because that's a direct reference to the Nazis. So that's super cool. We're all very happy about that. It's great weather for cryptids and other monsters. Exactly, yes. So yeah, the spoopy, foggy weather. I'm a fan personally. So yeah, what news is there? Or like, is there anything important we should talk about? I am certainly trying to check out mentally as much as possible in the current situation. I'm using Holo Taco Mist Shift today. It's metallic, chrome, pearlescent, purple, and green. Ooh. I have something kind of like that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have this one that's kind of like that. It's like, it's like purple, but it's also like hollow and iridescent-y, and I don't actually know if that's showing up on... It just kind of looks purple on camera, but it has like an almost like oil slick kind of... Maybe that's just because of the green reflecting off of the back of it right now, but I don't know. I like this one. It's cute. I didn't wear this one. Instead, where's the one that I'm wearing? This is the one that I'm wearing. Awful quality shit from fucking Walmart or something. But, you know, whatever it takes to make you happy. Any news on the FBI letter situation? The only thing I have to say on that is I'm really frustrated at the complete and utter lack of any evidence or proof on that. I want to have definitive answers, and all I have right now is the suspicion that nothing actually was sent to anybody. Or like, I don't know, like, again, if the lady's lawyer told her not to talk about it or whatever, like, but there's another creator who claims that they've been sent a letter and they like have some envelopes, but everything on it is Sharpied out. So it's like, okay, I don't like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really frustrated about the fact that there is no actual like evidence or you know, you didn't even post the letterhead like from the FBI. You couldn't you literally couldn't put on there like the return address or fucking black out the address. I don't give a shit, but if it says at the top of the letter like from the FBI, post it, dude. Like I don't want to accuse people of clout chasing, and at the same time, I do not have any reason to believe that that is actually occurring. Like, you can't just say something is happening on that regard. Like, now I have heard that there has been a person who their passport was not renewed. But again, it's like, I don't want to double down on hearsay if like people aren't going to the news about it, or if people aren't like even willing to post redacted screenshots or anything of the communications. So for the time being, I'm just not really thinking too hard about the alleged FBI letters being sent to trans creators. So I don't know. I'm just really annoyed about it. The news is all outside for me. I can definitely do with less Minneapolis news, but I do understand it's absolutely insane with agents going door to door and schools all over. It's wild. Yeah, there has been a dramatic escalation. I was saying on Sunday that there hadn't been an escalation in the way that I was expecting, but there certainly has been by now.
Shiloh gifted 5 Tier 1 subscriptions. Pixort didn't happen.
Thank you very much for the $5 donation subs. Melanie, Byron, Ashray, Jenna, and Andarius, you have just gotten a cool colored name. So thank you, Shiloh, very much. That's $25 toward our $100 goal today. Damn it, I just remember. So I don't have anything in the treasure chest today. I was just going to do the flexing again, but I'm wearing a white tank top with no bra under it. So if we do reach the $100 goal, I will have to go change my shirt before I can show off my muscles. So sorry. Not trying to flash my nips on stream right now. Here we go. So yeah, everything's crazy in Minneapolis. I saw that they're deploying even more agents out there. Agents are pulling out their guns. We're seeing videos of standoffs between protesters and ICE agents with like tear gas being thrown and tear gas being thrown back. And yeah, I'm definitely assuming that this is, I mean, it's fucking cold, so it's hard. But I'm assuming that we're going to probably see an ongoing, continuing protest on the level of the George Floyd protests. Like, those continued for months back in 2020. So I'm expecting we're going to get some protracted issues, and it wouldn't surprise me if there are more shootings of like from ICE agents. And you know, it's so fucking stupid. Okay, so the one of ours, all of yours, which was printed on the dais when Kristi Noem was talking. Hold on, let me find a picture of it. The selfish part of me is glad they ramped down efforts in Chicago before this. Right. I mean, they don't have enough agents to be everywhere all at once. This is an enormous country. It's an enormous country, and they have to choose, they have to choose where they're going to send enforcement. So if they crack down in Minneapolis and then get chased out, then they're going to just go somewhere else, right? But they have to pull out of each place. So they're either going to have a very limited amount of control, limited amount of officers in a large number of places, or they're going to concentrate their efforts into one or two areas at a time. Yes, that would be a very different kind of stream. I have touched base with my partner, and he would prefer if I did not just swerve into sex work. So as easy as it would make my life to do sex work, unfortunately, I'm not doing it. Let's see. I want the picture. Show me the picture. So this is the picture of this ugly woman, and it says, "One of ours, all of yours." And the origin of that term is when there was an SS officer who was killed in, I believe, a Czech village, and the Nazis proceeded to kill, like, almost all of the men from that village. So it's fucking insane for, like, one of the ICE agents to have just killed a civilian, a citizen and a civilian, a mother, in broad fucking daylight with no provocation, and for the response to that to be like, okay, you even touch one of ours, we'll get all of yours. Like, you already started it. Sorry, I'm not trying to raise my blood pressure right now. I'll do that tomorrow on Calling It Now. Yeah. That's why there are so many ICE recruitment ads. They need more people. I don't know if this is true, but I saw it reported that ICE agents trainings, it used to be like 16 weeks, but they've dropped it to now it's like only 6 weeks of training. And I heard it reported that they removed the sit-ups portion, like the abdominal workout where you lie on your back and you do sit-ups like this. They apparently eliminated that because the troops couldn't handle it. So I've also heard people saying that they have applied for ICE positions in order to ascertain what level of oh my gosh, I don't know what the word is for this. Like, what's the bar for entry? You know, what level of rigor do they put into their process of hiring people? And apparently, like, they don't even complete the background check before they put you on the job. And you could be fucking anybody. You could be literally anybody, and they'll just put you out there. It's like, you know how if you are trying to become a police officer, and this has been well known for a long time, if you're trying to become a police officer, if your IQ is too high, they won't let you be a police officer. You know what I mean? Like, they might move you into detective training or something. I'm kind of getting the impression that it's like that, where it's people who are too stupid to be police, or like maybe like, I mean, like, literally, I don't know if it's possible to be too stupid to be a police officer, but it's like, is it people who are too stupid to be in the police and they're not physically fit enough to be in the army? Like, they took an Andrew call yesterday on Calling It Now. I feel like it should be reserved for you to take those calls to rip into him when you need to let out anger. That's very funny. After many, many months of me being like, yes, I insist we take Andrew's call today. And everybody hated it so much. Like, legitimately, it was me for months. Andrew from New Jersey would call, and everybody would be like, do we have to? And I would be like, yes, you have to. He's the only spicy call we have today, and we get more views and make more money when he calls. So after months of me being the reason that Andrew was there at all, now I'm the only one who gets to talk to him and yell at him. That would be very funny. ICE has reduced the written tests to now be open book. Right. Okay. So there is part of me that thinks open book testing is fine. And like, I don't necessarily think that memorization is the same as knowing something and whatever. I think people sometimes perform badly on tests, even though they do know the information, but it is very fucking silly to be like, you are going to be enforcing federal law, but we don't expect you to actually fucking know any federal law or like any procedures. We don't expect you to actually know any of that stuff. Yikes. Can I ask for Andrew to email me? I don't know how you would get in touch with him, but you can try, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Viren. I'm surprised as well. Yeah, there was a claim that Jonathan Ross, the man who shot Renee Good in the face, that he allegedly had internal bleeding from being hit by her car, which, like, you can watch the video from multiple angles, including from his own cell phone, and clearly see that he wasn't hit by her car at all. But, like, yeah, I guess technically if he has a bruise because he fucking fell on his ass or something, because that's a thing that ICE agents are doing in Minneapolis right now, is falling. Like, I guess technically that could be considered internal bleeding or whatever, but it wouldn't have been from her car because her car didn't fucking touch him. You're saying there's a chance that hypothetically people could infiltrate, get a paycheck, and maybe feed intel or otherwise sabotage ops. So I do have to let people know that the sign-on bonus, that you allegedly get from signing up for ICE. Well, you don't actually get that sign-on bonus until you've been an employee for 5 years. So that $50,000 or whatever it was that they were offering, you have to actually remain an employee. Now, you could still be collecting a paycheck, but, like, how much are you going to be able to accomplish within that system in that time frame? Like, I would not necessarily recommend that people try to work for ICE in order to internally sabotage it. I mean, do whatever the fuck you want, but I personally wouldn't take that road, no matter how much financial security it gives you right now, because I do wonder, I think that you are at risk of being held liable for perjury or treason or something. Like, I am worried that you would be opening yourself up to a lot more risk. I mean, we need people to take on risk and everything, but I'm just saying you would need to be fully informed and make sure that you're not going to end up in a situation where, you don't accomplish your goals and you're in federal prison for the rest of your life. Did Andrew actually get banned? So Andrew is banned on the line. Now we have two different phone numbers. We have the line, and then we have Jimmy Snow and the line. On the line, his phone number is banned, meaning he cannot call in. If he calls in, the only thing that happens is I get a little notification in the top corner that says a blocked caller attempted to call. Now, he's not banned from Jimmy Snow and the line. So sometimes if Jimmy wants to fuck with him, he can do that. That's his prerogative. I don't know what it takes to get banned on Jimmy Snow and the line. That is his position. So that's the current state of Andrew. It's either something like a bruise or they're just making it up, just like when they said he was in critical condition following the incident. Yeah, I've been on Threads, and I think Threads is a really interesting website or app to be getting information from, because the algorithm is just a little bit weird over there, and you get lots of different stuff. I'm getting lots of different stuff. So I've seen some people talking about conversations that they're having with MAGA folks. And I saw someone saying that they were speaking to someone who claimed that that Jonathan was hit by the car and flew 5 feet into the air and all this. And then they reviewed the videos. I don't know which videos, but they reviewed several different videos of the incident. And the guy was just like, how can we trust these videos? It's like, okay, so you're more willing to trust the rumor that this guy got hit by a car and flew into the air and all this critical condition, all this nonsense, like, but then you see several videos and you go, well, no, I'm just going to refuse to believe that. I was telling my partner earlier, like, we got a call on Calling It Now when I was with Jovan about this guy was saying we need to have a temporary police state so that we can get crime down. It's like, okay, crime is down, dumb fuck. Like, crime, violent crime especially, is at its lowest it's been all across this country for quite a while. Like, it's on a downtrend. And I told him at one point, I was like, what you want is for there to be like a roaming gang in your streets. Like, you want your city to be occupied by a gang. And he was like, yeah, that's not really an issue. And I'm like, okay, we live in amongst the dumbest people who've ever lived. Like, legitimately, I think that we are currently living with the dumbest people who have ever lived. And girl, let me tell you, wear a fucking mask, because COVID's just going to make you dumber and dumber and dumber. Well, like, I think we are truly looking down the barrel of like imminent societal collapse in multiple different avenues. The climate's going to collapse, the economy's going to collapse, and people are so fucking stupid, and they are physically incapable of recognizing that they're stupid, because the part of their brain that can even recognize that there is something different is also broken. Their empathy is damaged. Their impulse control is damaged. Their inhibition part of their brain is damaged. Like, I truly think we're fucked. Like, we are actually, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a doomer. When I'm complaining and bitching and venting right now, but I want to be clear, the solution to this problem is to wear a fucking mask, continue getting your boosters, because the boosters can help with long COVID damage. Like, it can help stymie or even help regress some of the damage that is done by COVID. So continue getting mRNA vaccines every year. Just know that on a broader scale, we're fucked. At the federal level, we're fucked. Like, nothing good is going to happen until a bunch of really fucked up and bad shit happens. What are your tips on how to deal with ICE agents if someone encounters them? I would say if you see ICE agents in public, I mean, keep your fucking distance. If you want to film, then film, but keep your fucking distance. I cannot in good conscience and like do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm not your fucking mother. I'm not telling you what to do, but keep your distance. Don't put yourself in their faces. Don't yell at them. Don't touch them. Don't even get close enough that they could pretend to claim that you touched them. Don't go near them. If ICE comes to your door, or if they walk up to you in public, if they try to talk to you, keep it short, keep it simple, okay? It's Shut the Fuck Up Friday every day of the week. Every day of the week, it's Shut the Fuck Up Friday. You're going to say, I do not consent to answer questions. I do not consent to any searches. If they're knocking on your door to your house, say, I do not consent to entry. Ask if they have a judicial warrant. They can slide it under the door. Say, if you have a warrant, you can slide it under the door. But I do not consent to entry. I do not consent. And then stop fucking talking. Stop fucking talking. Stop fucking talking. Stop fucking talking. Can't emphasize this enough. Don't fucking talk to them. Don't talk to ICE. Don't talk to DHS. Don't talk to the police. Just don't fucking talk to them. If they have probable cause to arrest you, don't resist arrest. If they break down your door, comply. Hands behind your head. Just comply. Okay? If they get you into a place where they've arrested you, lawyer, lawyer, lawyer. I want a lawyer. I want a lawyer. I will not answer questions until I have a lawyer. Like, just keep it simple. Repeat the phrases over and over again if you have to yourself. Do not answer questions until you have a lawyer. Only say what your lawyer tells you to say. Do not resist. And mostly, don't fucking go anywhere near them. Like, that is my advice to everybody. You know? They're pulling people over and harassing if they think you're following them. Yeah, like I don't know. I've seen that video where a lady was like, I'm tailing these ICE agents. And I'm like, are you trying to get shot? Like, yeah, Quantum Chaos says, if they ask you for your papers, shut the fuck up. If they ask if you're a citizen, shut the fuck up. If they ask you how your day is, shut the fuck up. If like, this is basic OPSEC. If you have a, like, at any point in time, if you get pulled over or anything, if the officer's like, hey, what are you doing today? You can say, I'm going about my business. And then you immediately ask, am I free to go or am I being detained? Like, you need to start getting in this habit. And also try not to put yourself in a situation where they're talking to you in the first place. I know that this is like, basically what I'm advising is to keep your head down, but like, I don't know what to tell you. I am not a person who is going to go to a protest. I'm not a person who's going to risk getting beaten or arrested or raped. Like, did you all see that there was a video of ICE agents had pulled over and a woman went into a porta potty and the ICE agent went into the porta potty with her? Like, are you trying to get totally fucked up? Like, I don't know. I just, my personal thing is like, I'm not going to risk my life and freedom. I'm just going to try to stay the fuck out of the business. And like, I'm going to tell people what's fucked up happening. And I would say support people on the front lines. If you want to like donate water at the protest, or if you know what, but even if you're a medic, even if you're clearly labeled as a medic, or if you're clearly labeled as a journalist, like, they're going to target you. They're going to hurt you. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. Still waiting on my apology from the libs who, yeah, told me I was overreacting or called me a doomer. Like, yeah. I do think the one good thing that's happening right now is that liberals are starting to fucking get it. But it sucks because in the midst of that, like, yeah, some liberals are starting to fucking get it, but lots of conservatives are willing to just go like, you know what, I'm going to deny reality. Like, I'm just going to completely ignore reality. The prevalence of AI video is empowering people to go, oh, well, I'm just gonna pretend like that's fake, like they're gonna pretend like the videos that they're seeing aren't showing what they're showing. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, I don't leave my house very much. I have very specific places I go. I do my like pick up my groceries once a week and mostly just don't stay outside. And I know that is not my favorite way to live. But damn. I did get an apology. Ooh, Louisiana said, I got an apology from someone. They said they're sorry they didn't believe me that Trump was going to do Project 2025. Damn. And yeah, Quantum Chaos says, don't Fed post. Yeah, be careful what you say online. If you're trans or you're gay, it's legal now for them to surveil you, like to keep track of your private communications for no other reason than because you're gay or trans. So even in your private communications, you should be careful what you say. And if you are a loved one of someone who's gay or trans, you should be careful what you say in your private messages. Damn, Stormy. That's fucked. I'm so sorry. My dad is super supportive of ICE and said if I was taken or killed, he wouldn't really care. So I'm just not going to talk to him as much as I can. Isn't that literally Nazi shit? Yeah, I mean, it's Nazi shit. That sucks. And I'm really sorry that he said that to you. I hope that you didn't say nice things back. Thing to remember also is the Democratic base has always been farther to the party's left. I'm somewhat dreading the prospect of the nominee for 2028 being Gavin Newsom because it just means we'll be back here again within a decade or two. Yeah, the one good thing about if Gavin Newsom is the president is that he won't be the governor of California, meaning that when the United States collapses, as it probably will in about 15 years, then some other person who's less of a piece of shit will be able to be part of our 3 or 4 state governing, like the 3 or 4 states of the West Coast Alliance. How can we avoid the surveillance? You can't. Like, you can try to use like Signal or something, but they probably have a back door, so you can't. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. COINTELPRO started against the black civil rights leaders in the 60s by the FBI. It never stopped and has expanded. Yeah. We do not live in a free country. You do not have freedom of speech. You do not have freedom of assembly. Like, you do not have freedom of the press. You need to start living like you live in Nazi Germany because that's where you live now. Yeah, Shakespeare says you have to start meeting in person. Leave your fucking phone at home. If you're going to go to a protest, leave your fucking phone at home. I'm sorry, Melatonale. Yeah, your mom is in a not good situation. We're all in a not good situation. Some of us are more at risk than others, but like we are all collectively in a very bad fucking situation. Sending love from the Southeast USA. Things are quiet here, but I've cut off all family who still support this. Yeah. Like, we already didn't talk to most of our conservative family, but we certainly wouldn't now. Don't leave your phone at home. We still need to record what these fascists are doing. I mean, just know that you're taking on, well, I guess like protest was not necessarily, yeah, it actually is a recommendation if you are trying to, because they can, you know that they can like track you afterwards and like just kill you after. Like, we know, okay, do you all know that like black people still get lynched in this country? Like, black activists still get disappeared and still get stalked and still get lynched. Like, and I mean literally, like they get hung from trees and then the police investigate it and they say, oh, it was a suicide. Like, so you do need to be careful. Yeah, you could get a different kind of camera recording device than a phone. It's all relative, you guys. Like, take on relative risk that you're willing to take on. Do what you're willing to do, but understand that they will do illegal shit and they will accuse you of doing illegal shit that you didn't do. And if you are labeled a terrorist, you no longer have due process rights. ICE has a contract with a company that can access your phone if it's nearby. Yeah, they have the ability to identify you based on your devices. Didn't a black student get hung from a tree just a few months ago on a college campus? I didn't hear about that one. I was thinking of one that happened a few years ago, but unsurprising, TBH. It's like, I just don't know that I'm the person to ask for advice. You know, like, I'm not a legal expert. I've only ever been to one protest, and it was years ago. I think it was like President's Day right after Trump was elected, like a President's Day protest in Kansas City, Missouri. I've only been to one protest. I brought a video camera with me. I brought supplies with me. I had a backpack. I brought like med supplies just in case. It was mostly just kind of fun. Like, I mean, I prevented some teenagers from trying to jump a guy, so that was something. It was like, there was somebody who kept driving by with a car with a bunch of Trump stickers all over it, and there were a couple teenagers who were like agitating, like they were gonna do something, and I was like, don't be stupid, like just fucking don't. And like, so like that's the extent of my experience being at protests. It's not something that I do. I don't feel comfortable doing it. Quantum says, sometime in the next few weeks, I do plan to vomit on the wall outside the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa. Making my illness someone else's problem is the best form of protest. Yikes. Trey Reed at Delta State University like 3 months ago, and they ruled it a suicide. Yep. I watched Simon Whistler learn about Emmett Till on his show. That wasn't really that long ago. Yep. Julius says, check your passport status before you leave the U.S. I have heard that passports are being reported as lost or stolen upon arrival at a foreign country, and then people are stuck. Yikes. Even if Gavin Newsom was no longer governor of California, wouldn't he just be replaced by another establishment Democrat? I mean, I don't know. California, I feel, is more likely than any other state to elect a left-leaning Democrat. And I don't know, what year was he originally elected? Or like, was it fairly recently? When was Gavin Newsom's most recent electoral win? 2022. Okay, so things are pretty different now than they were in 2022. Lots of people in California, even specifically in California, are disappointed in his lack of support for trans people and the bullshit about him going on like right-wing podcasts. So that's a pretty recent thing. And so people now are more annoyed with him than when he won. So I think it could be very likely that the next Democrat in the governorship of California could be someone more to the left of Gavin Newsom. But I am not a fucking oracle, so I don't know. I don't attend protests because I work for the state and I worry about losing my job. Yeah, it's a reasonable concern. The thing about Gavin Newsom is that he's terrible to the homeless, like any other lib, on top of all the other shit. Yeah, it was one of the worst things I've probably ever seen him personally do. Like going on video and being like, I am going to destroy. Okay, it's like, okay, homeless people pay taxes. They are taxpayers. They are constituents. They are a group of people that you are representing if you are in an elected position. So your poorest and most vulnerable constituents, you are personally going and destroying their personal private property. That's fucked. He's a terrible person. And it's going to be really disappointing if he is. I'm like, I almost kind of wondered for a second if Tim Walz was pulling out of the governorship because he might run for president, but I don't know. Like, I think that his actual family might be like, he might be like, I'm going to pull back from public life because my family is in the crosshairs. Like, my disabled son is being made fun of by the president of the United States. There is part of me that does kind of hope that Tim Walz or someone like him will run. Because listen, girl, when I voted for Kamala Harris, it wasn't really a vote for Kamala Harris. It was a vote for Tim Walz. They did get me excited about one part of the ticket, and it wasn't fucking Kamala Harris. So I think if Tim Walz ran, you know, there would be a decent chance. There could be a decent chance. But it's probably going to be fucking Gavin Newsom or Pete Buttigieg or Kamala Harris again. I'm just hopeful at this point that we get a proper primary, right? Like I agree. Walz-Harris might have won rather than Harris-Walz. I agree. I do think that and like, again, it's bullshit that you have to put a white man on the ticket like that. But let's not pretend like this country is excited to vote in a black woman or an Asian woman, right? Like they're not excited. I think Walz is done. Yeah, I know. I agree. Like, I think it's most likely that he's going, you know, this is not worth it. My family is at risk and I want to step out of, or maybe, you know, work in a nonprofit or something instead of running for office. I think he's probably tapping out. So, unfortunate. We're going to get some jackass like Gavin Newsom. But be ruthless during the primaries, right? Like if you're a Democrat, if you're registered as a Democrat, especially in states like Oregon where you have a closed primary, be discriminating, like be ruthless about supporting the person you actually want to be on the Democratic ticket. The primary is the time to lay on that pressure. Part of it is the white man thing, but complete other end was that he really came off as a working man's president from the Dems, which is really rare. Yeah, that he was like, I still drive this old beat up vehicle and I'm from a small town in Nebraska or whatever the fuck Tim Walz was from. Yeah. Just, everything is going to be bad for a while. So you know what? I bought a new plant. I posted a picture. I posted a picture on multiple different social medias today of my new plant that I got because I needed to go to the store and get some contractors' trash bags. So I was like, you know what? I've really been wanting a new snake plant. I got rid of most of my plants when I moved, and the rest of my plants died because it was fucking January, and I should have just given them all away instead of trying to bring them with me. But yeah, so that's something that I did. Maybe Pritzker. Okay, you know, yeah, you're right. I would love it if Pritzker ran. Now, again, he's a billionaire, and that is bad. But Pritzker, I think, has the balls to, like, hold his own. Do we think... Okay, so I want to ask you guys' opinions. I'm curious what you guys think. First of all, do we think that there will be a presidential election next time? Like, because I think what's happening right now is that they're going to declare martial law and suspend the midterm elections. This is, again, I'm not the fucking Oracle of Delphi. I'm just I'm spitballing some predictions. So it's possible that they will try to do that. Assuming that they don't do that, do we think that there is going to be an election for president 2028? Do we think that Trump is going to run in that. And I guess those are the two questions that I have. Like, do we think that Trump is going to be the one to run? Because he's got all the Trump 2028 bullshit going on, right? Pritzker is one of the only billionaires I would trust. Yeah, totally. And Darius says, I've got a snake plant and it's pretty rugged. Seems tough to over or underwater. That, along with spider plants and coleus, are probably the longest lasting house plants I've got. Yeah, I do actually have a spider plant that I do not take very good care of, but it's still alive. I got it at a plant exchange last year. So yeah, I have that. So now I have, well, I guess I had like 3 plants because I did buy a basil plant and a parsley plant, and I planted some ginger that I bought at the store. But I think all of those are basically dead now. So I just didn't do a good job of taking care of them. So realistically, the only 2 plants I now have are the snake plant and the spider plant. I don't see midterms happening the way things are going now. And if that doesn't happen, I think that's it for elections. Even if we have one, it will probably be rigged. Yeah, I can see that. It's like, are we, that's a different question, right? Are we going to have an election is a different question to, are we going to have a free, non-rigged election? That's a little bit different of a question. I think realistically there will be an election again. I do think they might try to yet again push boundaries, but this country isn't yet ready for that kind of dictatorship. So assuming that we do have a presidential election in 2028, do you guys think that Trump is going to run again? And I want to be clear that Trump running again would be completely illegal. Like, it would just not, it would in no way, shape, or form be legal for him to do that again. I'm just asking. All I'm saying is my great aunt at age 93 went from still actively moving around and baking to hospice care in the span of a week, and her health was likely better than Trump's. So I'm on team Trump won't run again because he'll be in the ground. Yeah. I've been following this guy on Instagram. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what account he is. He's a physical therapist, and he's been a physical therapist for 14 years. So I will say, like, you know, he's not a medical doctor, but he's a physical therapist who works with geriatric patients, and he has a PhD in that field. And because of his work with geriatric patients, he thinks that Trump's symptoms are in line with frontotemporal dementia. And so he posts videos regularly on Instagram about that, and basically saying that he thinks Trump will expire or be impeached or be pulled based on 25th Amendment. Now, let me read the 25th Amendment, actually. 25th Amendment, in case of the removal of the president from office or of his death or resignation, blah, 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 blah. Give to me the definition. Is this basically, is this like he would be declared unfit because of his health? Is that kind of what the 25th Amendment is about? Okay, yeah. Section 4 of the 25th Amendment says, whenever the vice president and a majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other body as Congress may by law provide, transmit to the president pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, the vice president shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office as acting president. So basically, this physical therapist on Instagram has been saying he predicts that within a few months from now, Trump will either expire from natural causes because his health is shit, or he will be removed by the 25th Amendment because he's unable to continue performing his duties, or he will be impeached by Congress for being fucked up. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wish that I could find the account. I don't know how to go about looking. I feel like anytime I try to search something on Instagram, the search function does not work the way that I am expecting it to. So I just, sometimes when I'm trying to find something, I just get on here and scroll for a bit. And then usually I never find the thing that I'm looking for. Because it's also like, you already saw everything. And so you don't want to see it again. And I'm like, well, what if I do? Maybe I should start clicking the save button because there is a little save button function. What if I just look up Trump dementia? Let's see what that does for me. Trump dementia. Okay, I found it. Shh, 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 be quiet. This account name is Epistemic Crisis. And he's like ex-MAGA. He's saying he's like an ex-cult member and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, he just regularly posts videos about how he thinks Trump is gonna die, basically. From, I guess the most likely thing at this time is from complications of dementia. Like, dementia involves, like, your body not being able to function in basic ways. Like, so he seems to be unable to control his bladder because he's been seen with a bladder bag attached to his leg. But also he's doing this like slurping thing now when he's talking. He'll be in the middle of talking and then he'll go because his body isn't swallowing the way that it's supposed to, like the autonomic nervous system. He's just not doing normal stuff like that. So he likely, a lot of frontotemporal dementia patients die because they breathe in food or water, or like they breathe in liquids or they breathe in food and then they get pneumonia in their lungs because they keep breathing in stuff that they shouldn't be breathing in. So that's kind of the leading theory right now, I suppose, if you want to call it that, the leading hypothesis for what's going to happen. The guy is clearly in heart failure as well, so...
Riffs No Leads has donated $20. Some heckin' moolah for the heckin' cutie.
Thank you. Thank you, Riffs No Leads, for the $20. Okay, so this is just a really interesting thing, because I don't mind you now just saying that I'm a heckin' cutie. I'm cool with that. But I have been annoyed at people commenting on my appearance recently. And maybe it's Riffs No Leads, like you've been around for a while, so that's probably part of it. Like, I'm not annoyed because you are an established member of my community and I'm like familiar with your presence, right? But last night I was producing chewed gum and we do not allow comments on physical appearance of our hosts and producers on chewed gum or Takis. I don't know what they do on the other shows necessarily, but I'm like, I'm not sitting here dealing with you sexually harassing my hosts. Like, I don't fucking deal with it. But somebody posted like, oh, Luxander is so gorgeous. I'm not even on camera, okay? I was producing, and their comment got deleted because we don't allow those comments. And then they super chatted to try to make sure that their comment would be seen. And I'm like, that to me feels like sexual harassment in a way that Riffs No Leads comment just now did not make me feel like I'm sexually harassed. It was like, I don't know how to quantify the kind of difference. Hi, Emma. How's it going? Trump's dictator, dementia, or death speed run will likely end before another election. Right. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. You know, he's gonna breathe in an entire Big Mac and die of pneumonia or something. I don't know. It's a shame our government stripped so much biomedical research funding for like dementia and shit. True. Oh my goodness. Thank you. That's so generous. Elemental for the $50 super chat who says, IDK what to say, but here have some monies. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous of you. I am not going to get that money until next month because of the way that YouTube works. And also, I'm only going to get like $40 of it because, again, YouTube takes a shit ton of your money. But I'll still add it to our donation goal for today. We are only $5 away from getting to the goal, at which point I will have to go change my shirt because I am going to flex my muscles, but I'm wearing a see-through white tank top. I should have changed my shirt this morning. This is the shirt that I slept in. Another thing that's scary is what will the MAGAs do when he dies? Well, okay, so the thing about a cult... Okay, I'm actually curious. Does anybody know anything about cults who could tell me, has there ever been a situation where a cult has smoothly transferred ownership? Because I feel like the part of what defines a cult is that you have the guy at the top and that the charisma and affability of the guy at the top is part of what keeps the cult together. Do you prefer PayPal or Patreon for pure monetary efficiency? As far as pure monetary efficiency, I think that they're relatively similar. So that's up to you. PayPal is... I like Patreon in that way where it's like predictable every month. But PayPal is great too. Like between those two, it doesn't really matter. It's more a matter of like, do you want to receive any of the benefits from Patreon? Because Patreon does have, I post stuff there that I do not post anywhere else. So either one of those is fine. And I'm not mad about the super chat either. It's just like, so that you know, I make more money taking super chats than I would if I didn't have it open at all, because there are people who will not jump over to PayPal. So I did turn off super chats for a while because of how much money YouTube takes off of them. But it is worth it to me to have them open, and I'm not mad at people for sending. But just for your knowledge, for your money, your bang for your buck, if you want me to receive most of it, then Patreon or PayPal are better. Scientology, sort of, because L. Ron Hubbard passed it on to his son, technically. Okay. Yeah, that's a fair example. I don't understand how anyone thinks Trump has charisma. I don't either. I think it's just like people are terrible in their hearts and they want the permission to be terrible. And so they like Trump because he gives you permission to be a terrible person. It only works if the cult becomes a religion or a religious wing. I did see someone saying that the fact that many Trump supporters have a religious underpinning anyway, like they were already religious, that might be part of why it's so hard to deconstruct from the cult. So, I don't know. I also think heckin' cutie is a different vibe than somebody saying you're gorgeous. That's true. That's very true. Okay, this is too bright. Get this off my screen. Okay, great. Scientology is also a huge organization, and I feel like it's different from the MAGA cult, where even his own sons don't have the same support. Yeah. So my thing is, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to continue maintaining all of this momentum with President Couchfucker. You know, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain the same vigor when their main guy is gone. Like the demoralizing aspect of having, you know, President Couchfucker Eyeliner Man who is in an interracial marriage and is a Catholic. Like, so many things JD Vance has against him. Do y'all not, like, remember that Catholics are not the good kind of Christian? Like, I just don't. I think it's going to continue to limp on, but I don't know that they're even going to put Vance on as their...
Rich has donated $5.
Oh,
Didn't mean to bring up bad times during these bad times. Here is some more.
I'm about to have a pimple here, apparently. I've got a little sore spot on my forehead. Thank you, Riffs, for the $5. No, you're fine. You didn't bring up bad times. Someone in the chat earlier even said something about my appearance, and I just ignored them instead of commenting on it, because why would I acknowledge a rando in my chat talking about my appearance? So it wasn't you, Riffs. Like 5 minutes ago, someone in chat was like, I like how you look or something. I don't fucking remember what they said. So don't feel bad or anything, but thank you for I wanted to give more, but I'm tapped out right now. Listen, as always, always take care of yourselves first. I appreciate the support. You are helping me afford healthcare. I went to the doctor this week. Gotta say, I'm really excited that I can afford having health insurance and going to the doctor, and that's because of a combination of donations here and you guys watching the videos and support from the line and all that stuff. So thank you. Let me go change my shirt. I will be back. What's on your shirt? It is skulls. Skulls. This is one of my skull hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Magar, for saying, open your hearts / Neuralink implant to Trump AI and be saved. Horrendous. Scary. But true. Hi, Mama. What are we talking about today? Oh, we're talking about all kinds of different stuff. Trump, mostly. And President Couchfucker. But I'm about to go change my shirt because we did just reach the donation goal and I'm not wearing a shirt that I can show off my muscles in. So I'm going to go change my shirt and I'll be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere or I will cry. Okay, I'm back. So what I've decided to do, is I just put on a sports bra. So I'm gonna give you maybe a little bit more than what you've explicitly asked for here. Here we go. Sports bra time. I'm so lily white. It's never more clear how white I am until I'm wearing black. I got my little back fat back there. Listen, I feel like my upper body, not super impressive right now because I'm mostly working on lower body stuff, but just I have natural biceps. So thanks everybody for donating money. Belly. Got belly. Belly posting hours. Thank you for supporting me financially. That helps a lot. Thank you so much, everybody. Speaking of cults, I'm playing a really cool turn-based strategy game where you slowly enshadow the world to bring about a dark entity similar to an evil god. Cool. I did something similar to that in a game called Strange Horticulture recently. Okay, but the abs though, there's no abs here. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Look at this. There's no abs here. It's belly. Okay? I am bordering on overweight. Like I am almost overweight. Yeah, Flex is back. Yeah. And Darius says, Couchfucker doesn't give me the same dopamine as Kendrick destroying Drake's life, but he's not too far behind. Yeah. My game was Shadows of the Forbidden Gods. Nice. I loved Strange Horticulture. Yeah. I think it's so weird when a game like that, and I was saying when I first started playing it that it reminded me of Papers, Please, because I think it does have the same kind of format as Papers, Please, and it also has a bunch of different endings, but I think that the endings, they're like not entirely like there are more endings than there are achievements for endings. It seems as though that's the case. I don't know. I didn't double triple check and like Google it or anything. Papers, Please is also very good. Yeah, I haven't played Papers, Please in forever. Tonight is pizza night, so I'll be joining in the ability to belly jiggle. Yes. Belly, 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 belly. I am not asking for advice on weight loss. Thank you very much. Not interested in advice on weight loss. Thanks very much. As soon as I get healthy enough, I'm going to gain 10 pounds. That's my goal this year, is to gain 10 pounds of muscle. Not interested in losing weight. Thank you. Please do not advertise intermittent fasting in my chat. Thank you very much. Papers, Please seems a little too apropos for the present moment. True enough. Yeah. When was Papers, Please popular? It was popular, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years ago. But I also feel like that's too recent because I feel like I stopped watching Jacksepticeye like longer ago than 3 or 4 years ago. And he was the one who I watched playing Papers, Please. When was Papers, Please popular? There are abs, they're just covered by a healthy layer of survival squish. That's so true. Okay, let me actually change this. I will... Look at that, we got to $105. We got to see the muscles. We got to see some skin. We saw some skin. Okay. Why? Okay, well, I'll have to deal with that later. There's this game called Secret Hitler, and when you think about it, I don't think we could play that in good faith right now either. I don't like secret role games because they kind of like... The last I think I played Secret Hitler, and I played it with a group including a guy named Jamie, who used to be a presenter on Talk Heathen, which was one of the... It was like the Atheist Experience, and it was even hosted by the... do they still have Talk Heathen? That's a question that I have now. So Jamie was a presenter on Talk Heathen, and he like was yelling and all this kind of stuff during the Secret Hitler, and like accusing me of being the guy, and he was actually the Secret Hitler. And I was like, oh, this is not the kind of game that I enjoy. This is not a fun moment for me. So I don't like secret role games. Talk Heathen's still around. Cringe. Time to show off some skin. Then you lift up the shirt to reveal you are covered in potato peels. You are... That made me literally like all of my skin just went... Because that would be wet. That would be wet. And starchy. Oh no. Yes, I agree. Secret role games encourage toxic social behaviors. Yeah, not my favorite thing. Jamie was cool. Yeah, except that you play a secret role game with him and he's fucking toxic. Eric has hair like mine. Eric Murphy, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say things. Sometimes I don't know if I'm allowed to say things, but I've heard some not good things about that guy. Yeah. You know how the atheist community, and this is completely unrelated, but you know how the atheist community has had like a long-standing problem with sex pests and like men doing really inappropriate sexual behaviors and like using their relative positions of influence to fuck people in a power dynamic that borders on consent violations. Anyway, that's crazy, isn't it? That's a weird thing. I appreciate you, Emma. I'm sorry, Emma. There isn't usually this kind of thing going on in the YouTube chat. So I apologize that you're having to do work. Normally there's like zero moderation required in the YouTube chat. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Okay. I remember when Among Us was popular and on more than one occasion saw people eject their allies because process of elimination, and it was then I knew I was not cutthroat enough for games like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, chat's back. Yeah, and then those men get defended by Richard Dawkins. True. Pop punk scenes are also full of sex pests, and it's one of the most popular forms of punk. Cringe. Ooh, I just brought. Ooh, listen. Okay, so I have very recently come to realize that dates are delicious. And I'm just gonna eat one really quick. I'm not like gonna sit there and eat a bunch of dates, but if you just eat like one, man, they're very sweet. They're very delicious. And I'm almost out. I will only have a couple left. They're so squishy. They're like squishy and moist and delicious. Nom 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 nom. That's so true. I saw that. Bots are out in full force. Rebecca Watson just posted a video about how she was getting comments pushing talking points from Republicans about Renee Good on a video that had nothing to do with Renee Good or ICE. Yeah. Oh, what is this comment? Something's happening in the YouTube chat. Hold on, let me see. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Emma. Dates with peanut butter. Okay, so I heard something about dates with peanut butter. Isn't it supposed to taste like a Werther's original or something? I don't know what exactly. I want to try it though because I only have a couple dates left and I just bought some new peanut butter. Dates are great. They're also great as ingredients to add fiber and sweetness to other things like muffins. Ooh. Reject date, embrace chili mango. Listen, mango is a little bit more hit or miss. I think mango is, I don't know, if it's ripe enough, it's good, but a lot of the times it's underripe, and I'm not a big fan. Seth Andrews' channel. Yes, okay, so I heard about this. Okay, so Seth Andrews, his channel is called The Thinking Atheist, and everyone was talking about it last night on Chewed Gum, that his channel had been taken down. It's back now, okay? And I think it was because of allegedly there was like a mass reporting that he was a spam account, and obviously he's not a spam account. He's just a dude who posts video. Like, does he even post videos every single day? Hold on. Yeah, he only posts a couple times a week. So it's not like he's posting videos every day, or I guess I got to check out the YouTube shorts. Like, the date doesn't show up on the YouTube shorts. So like maybe you could say that I don't know, but I think it was really just a mass reporting campaign. And so his channel was just gone all day yesterday. And they finally got it restored because there's a whole community.
Lazarus emerging.
The autoplay. Yeah, he got brigaded by some community who accused him of being a spam or scam account. And then we had to get a whole bunch of people contacting YouTube. And then, yeah, they restored his account today. So his account was gone all day yesterday. That's very scary, especially if it's your whole fucking job. So it's good that that is back now. Obviously, he's not a scam account. Obviously, he's not a spam account. And it's just crazy that the automatic reporting feature can be good enough for a channel to get taken down without, like, does that not automatically trigger a manual review? And what's the time, like I feel as though that's the type of thing where you should have a mandatory review, a manual review before an account gets deleted. But this is fucking YouTube, so why are we expecting anything to make sense? Yes, my nails are painted purple. This is a very low quality paint polish, and so I painted it. It's very thin, and you can definitely see my nails underneath, but I just wanted to paint them, and I'll take it off in a few days or something. But maybe I want to start making this part of the brand. Maybe I do want to keep my nails painted on a regular basis. I don't know. Do we like it? Listen, I like it. I have been kind of wearing makeup sometimes, but I've been having a really hard time figuring out exactly how to get my eyes to look the way that I want to with eye makeup. So I just purchased some falsies today. So I ordered some falsies, and because I think a big part of my problem is that, like, I just don't have any definition from my eyelashes because they're like too short, or they're kind of hidden because of the angle of my eyes and everything. So I am going to get some false eyelashes and see if maybe from that point a little bit of eyeliner or whatever, because I want to wear bold eyeliner looks. I just don't think they are going to work unless I have more prominent eyelashes. So anyway, I'm working on what exactly kind of everyday look I want to have. I guess the glasses help a little bit in that it's a face accessory and adds some shadows and some dimensions to my face. So if I'm not wearing any makeup at all, it's not terrible. So I don't know. Yeah, I ordered some falsies today. We'll see how they look. Same, but with bottom surgery. Okay, yeah, someone was saying they don't want to work out. So I will say you can work out at home and you don't have to work out your upper body, although it can be good to work out your upper body anyway. So if you have dysphoria about being around other people, you can just work out at home. If you get resistance bands, or even you can just do body weight exercises. I'm doing right now the CHOP protocol, which is recumbent exercise, where you lie down on the floor or you sit down and you exercise. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So you can do stuff just on the floor, but I think you should be exercising at least a little bit. Like, that's, I think, advice that any doctor would give you. Even if you're having trouble doing intense exercises, at least doing some mild exercises can be better for you. One day before your shower, just put on a bunch of makeup, try new stuff, and don't worry about it looking good because you're about to wash it off. I do that on Sundays. That's a good advice. The last time I put on eyeliner, I put it on so thick and black that, like, it took forever to get it off. And I also have this issue where I don't know why, but whatever is closest to my eye, like whatever's right on my eyelash line, I have a really hard time getting it to come off. And I end up scrubbing my eyes, and it's like really sensitive skin and stuff. So partially the issue that I'm having is, like, how the fuck do I remove all of this? Pizza's here. Ooh, pizza. I'm gonna wait to order pizza until, wait. Oh my God. On Monday? Monday. Is that it? Monday. Monday the 19th. What is today? Today is the 14th. On Monday, the 19th, I am going to be doing production for a Skep Talk with Forrest and Erica. So we're going to be doing the whole fucking 8-hour show again, presumably. That's what I assume is going to happen. That's what we just schedule it once a month now. It's just, and apparently it's like 20% of my paycheck. So I can't complain too much. But yeah, on those nights, usually Monday night, I make dinner after Skep Talk, but on those long shows, I'm just like, whatever, I'll fucking order pizza. Yummy, yummy. Water. Hail hydrate. I stopped wearing stuff on or by my waterline because of that. I mean, like, to be clear, I am not tightlining. I don't tightline. But I think also maybe I need to stop putting eyeliner on the center part of my eye at all, because I don't know that there's anything I can do to prevent it from, even after I think it's dry, I open my eye and it transfers onto my upper lid. I don't know. But I think maybe I just need to like focus on this outer corner and not worry so much about putting it over my eye. And maybe the the eyelashes will kind of help with rounding out the look a little bit better. I don't know. I feel like a fucking baby learning about makeup right now. Ugh. Celebrates subs paying for healthcare, talks about getting pizza. Shame. I know. Yeah. Once a month, whenever we do the long show for Forrest and Erica, I buy pizza for my family instead of cooking dinner. So, yeah. Sorry. The other 5 nights every week is like on the weekends we just eat whatever is at home or like frozen food or whatever. But every weekday we cook dinner, which is like way more than most people do. So listen, I earn my pizza once a month. I know you're just giving me shit, by the way. Have you tried oil-based cleanser? I have micellar water. I'm like, this is me trying to wash my face with micellar water, and I just can't fucking get it off of the directly over my eyeball part. So, yeah, I don't know. I had frozen pizza for dinner cooked in the air fryer. Air fryers are amazing. Ooh, something that I did this week is I had purchased a bag of frozen sweet potato fries, and I put them in the air fryer, and then I just basically had an entire meal that comprised of sweet potato fries dipped in apple butter. It was delicious. Mama says, if you're at all femme and you seriously work out upper body, the worst men get super triggered about it. I find it very fun. Nice. And Darius says, I love both of those nerds, meaning Forrest and Erica, but I would prefer either of them plus a physics nerd rather than doubling up on the biology/anthropology team. Well, maybe I will try to influence the schedule next month to see if we can get Aaron. Wait, are we doing a show with Aaron? Like Aaron Adair is our physics guy. And oh, actually, here's a little sneak peek preview for you. Our Skep Talk on January 26th is going to be Aaron Adair and Erica Gibbon. So we're going to have the team up of anthropologist and physicist in 2 weeks. So the last Monday of the month, we're going to go ahead and have that combo. So hopefully that's exciting for you. Yeah, apparently it's pizza night for everybody. Everybody's ordering pizza tonight. Except for me. My teenager's cooking tonight, so I can't even remember what the dinner is. When I was in high school, wind ensemble, we'd meet on Tuesday nights and every other week was pizza. Listen, pizza's delicious. I did have bagel bites today, so I guess I did have pizza today. I had pizza bagel bites today. Not something I get very often, and probably not something I'm gonna eat super often either. But it's good every occasional while. I mean, there's still 93 people here. Is there something political we should be talking about? I'm planning on being here for another hour and a half, or at least another hour. So instead of talking about food, should we talk about something important? Like, what is there anything else? Because I already talked about some bullshit today. Like, I already talked about shit today. Bagel bites are better than pizza rolls. Gonna have to disagree on that one. But I mean, I could also be cooking my bagel bites wrong. I mean, listen, even putting the bagel bites in the microwave, there's still so much like chew that needs to happen that I don't know. I like pizza rolls better in that way. It's Wednesday. Damn, I should have been wearing pink. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Oh no, I fucked it up. I don't think I own anything pink. Of the frozen pizza snacks, bagel bites are the dark horse. Yeah. I watched Constantine this week. Constantine with Keanu Reeves. And I don't know what it is about atheists watching religious-based movies, but like, as an atheist, I love The Prince of Egypt, and I want to watch it again. I put it on my list, not to respond to or just to watch. But I watched Constantine just for the purpose of, like, hey, I haven't seen this in a long time. And it's a fucking banger. Like, it's such a good movie. Constantine is so good. What do you think happens if no more elections but no more Trump? Whoa. Okay, apparently people still follow me on Twitch sometimes. I should fucking figure out dual streaming. I don't know if I can afford it because I'm about to be paying like hundreds of dollars a month on couples counseling and also hundreds of dollars a month in health insurance. But would I be, but the question is, would I be making double the amount of money if I was just like, I'm already streaming to YouTube, so let me just enable dual streaming and then just put it on Twitch and fucking completely ignore Twitch and the Twitch chat. What happens if no more elections, but also no more Trump? See, that's an interesting question. I don't really know. Because again, I do think that Trump being out of the picture is going to kind of collapse a lot of the support that the cult has right now. So do we think that the country will be so far gone by that point, or like, are we going to be able to do zero election if they don't have the Trump at the head of that? Like, if JD Vance tries to say we're not doing elections anymore, are any conservatives going to go along with that? I don't know. I'm not certain. No, I don't use OBS. I use Streamlabs OBS because Streamlabs OBS has the whatever needs to happen for my website chat to. So, you know, whenever I get a donation on my website chat and it pops up here, I don't think I have an integration on OBS. I can only do that on Streamlabs. Stream Elements dual streaming is free. Is it? I don't know what Stream Elements is. But like, there's a reason why I use Streamlabs, and it's because White Nervosa told me I have to. I guess I don't have to have my website, but I do like having my website, so I don't know. The raid feature is a neat way to get exposure. Yeah, we also have the redirect feature on YouTube, but I have to confirm a channel. Like, you can't get raided by anybody. You have to like confirm that channels are allowed to raid you on YouTube. And so I know that it's a little different on Twitch. So I guess that means that you are more open to harassment on Twitch in a way. Mama says Vance does not have the juice. If Trump goes, it means infighting, which benefits us. That's kind of like, I kind of think that it's going to all fall apart when Trump goes, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if enough conservatives will go along with the idea of no elections. Probably there will be some, but being in war allows for no election. Cut to causing such a war to cause no election. It would be a post hoc fallacy, but they love those. Right. So if they declare war against Greenland, I heard today that Twitch requires more moderation time, even just keeping it tidy with the regulars. Okay, maybe I would need to have mods on Twitch. What was I about to say? Greenland. I saw some people saying on Blue Sky that Sweden is deploying troops to Greenland on the request of Denmark, because I guess Denmark like owns Greenland. But yeah, allegedly, it's crazy for NATO countries to be preparing defenses just in case another NATO country tries to invade them. But that's my understanding. Like, my understanding is that that Greenland and European countries might also be like preparing basically for potential invasion from the United States. United States. I'm assuming that Jack uses Streamlabs to dual stream. I'm assuming that that's what she does. And it only costs like $100 a year or something to pay for Streamlabs, and it's a business expense, so blah, 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 whatever. I've got a lot of bullshit that I need to set up for my business right now. So I don't want to get into all the details of the business side of things, but like, it's like I already need to be setting up this stuff, so it wouldn't be a huge pain in the ass if I paid $150 a year for Streamlabs, and then it's a tax deductible thing. There's also some issue though, like about because you can't stream about politics. Can you not make money on Twitch anymore if you are queer or if you talk about politics? There was some change that they made recently, right? What am I trying to... What was it? I don't... Or does it not promote your stream? Like, I don't remember what it is. If U.S. declares war on Greenland, that's equivalent to declaring war on the whole of NATO as per Article 5. Okay, cool. That's great. Oh, you can't make money off of advertisements if you are queer on Twitch. Is that what it is? So you only get donos and subs? Ask Javon about it. His main platform is Twitch. Yeah, I should. They're kind of weird over there, but Javon seems to get away with it. Okay. Excuse me. Javon does YouTube verticals to get spicier callers, but he focuses on Twitch chat. Okay. Yeah, I can ask Riverboat Jack since she's going to be a guest on Takis this week, by the way. If you hadn't heard, Riverboat Jack on the Transatlantic Call-In Show this week. And I think that we are also going to have her on Calling It Now on some Thursday this month. So, yeah. Just gonna bring her on more often. Twitch chat for Javon streams are much better than the YouTube vertical. Yeah. I would follow you to a different platform. Well, I'm not trying to change platforms. All I'm trying to do is like potentially expand, and I've been talking about starting dual streaming for like literally years, and I just haven't pulled the trigger or looked into it at all. But yeah, so it would just be like, oh, I'm expanding my audience. But here's a tricky thing. You are allowed to dual stream on Twitch, but I cannot tell you to come to a different chat. And so if I can't say like, hey, check out this chat. This is my website chat. I don't think I'm allowed to do that. So on Twitch, if I start streaming on Twitch, I'm gonna just like stop talking about the different chats. I might be able to say like, oh, if you want to donate to me, my website, lexander.net. But I think I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to say like, hey, come over to this chat and pull. You're not allowed to like pull users off of Twitch. So, yeah, I don't know. It's, there's like rules and stuff. I do have a Twitch account if you need mods there. Okay, cool. Good, thank you. Thank you. I'll look into it. I need to see how much money I have over the next couple of months before I really start considering it. Because again, like, about to start couples counseling, and couples counseling is going to be easily like, it's like going to be more than $100 per visit, and likely I'm not going to be able to get that covered by insurance. So that's going to be fucking expensive. And like my health insurance, like I've only paid one of those premiums, and then like I'm about to owe a bunch of money in taxes again. So yeah, we'll be on the lookout. We'll be on the lookout for some potential changes. I have some dark chocolate. Dark chocolate's good for you. You can't even have the website chat or alerts on screen on Twitch. Wait, so I can't have my website chat on screen? That seems crazy. What if I just don't ever say anything about it? This is part of it. Like, Twitch just has a lot more dumb fucking rules. So I have not been particularly interested in creating a platform over there. Bloody Hatter says, date night outfit plans. Red layered dress, black vest, and Chuck Taylors. Let my goatee grow out a bit, eyeliner, shadow, and two-tone lipstick. Thoughts? Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds cute. Jack has site alerts and she hasn't been banned. But like I have, this is my website chat on screen. Am I going to be not allowed to have my website chat on screen? Like, I don't know. Emma asks, are people connecting the dots yet on how interconnected these issues are, like COVID and masking, anti-capitalism, marginalized oppressions, or is it all focused on ICE and nothing else right now? There are plenty of people who have connected these dots. It's something I've noticed on Threads. It's like I actually see a lot of COVID conscious people on Threads who are talking about like, oh, all these people are asking, is there something I can wear? Like, can I wear a safety pin or something to indicate to people that I'm safe? It's like, yeah, wear a fucking respirator. Like, put on an N95. Like, it's going to actually materially prevent you from doing harm. And it does signal to people, and especially minorities, that you care about them. Because minorities are more likely to get sick from COVID, more likely to be permanently disabled with long COVID, more likely to be disabled even before this pandemic started. Fuzzy says there's a fact page. It may just be for Twitch partners. But yeah, they're really specific about just showing the chat and alerts on screen count as promoting another service. Yikes. Okay, see, I don't know that I can dual stream to Twitch. I don't think. Unless I guess I just remove chat from the screen, which sounds awful. But then there's more room for me. I don't know. Oh, aren't there very few Twitch partners? Like, it's super duper hard to become a Twitch partner, but a Twitch affiliate is different. Like, you can get donations, but like a Twitch partner is a whole different thing. I don't know. This is probably better sorted with people who stream on Twitch than random chatters. Yeah, I know. I'll fucking message Jack about it at some point. I'll ask. Is Threads worthwhile joining or Blue Sky? I like Blue Sky. I mean, I don't know. Blue Sky, it's not free of problems because Blue Sky does relentlessly delete the accounts of Palestinians, which is fucked up and not okay. And their head of safety and whatever, head of whatever and safety sucks balls. Like, it's the moderators and the owners of the site are fucking terrible. But Blue Sky doesn't have the algorithm. So in that way, like, okay, you can follow the people that you want to follow. Okay. Threads, people will just call you a retard on Threads. And I've never tried to report someone for doing it, so I don't know if they do anything about that, but it certainly did seem like that's just and also somebody called me the F-slur this week. So also I was replying to, you guys know Adeline Gray. She's a sex worker, and they were on they've been on the line a couple of times. They posted like, there are two genders, ass and titties, and I replied, ass and titties, ass and titties. And Threads was like, hey, are you sure that you want to post that? And I was like, yeah, I do, you fucking asshole. So Threads, it's a little bit the wild, wild west out there. I only got a Threads for work. Like, I got a Threads so that I could stir the shit pot and see if we could get some callers. That's the only reason why I have it. And so that, my coworkers can tag me if they ever are posting, and they, when you want to tag me, like, hey, I'm about to start a stream with Luxander. So that's why I got a Threads. Lots of interesting stuff on there. The algorithm's really interesting. And yes, I see a ton of people. Here's a person who says, hey, if you still mask in indoor spaces, thank you, and let's be friends. If you're, the next post says, if you're anti-ICE and pro-trans, let's be friends. The next person here says, I'm a communist first and a Bradford pear hater second. If you followed me for the latter, please come to terms with that. Fuck the Bradford pear. For real. Anyway. So it's a little random. There's a lot of stuff going on Threads. I don't know if I would say that it's worth it to be on there for any personal reasons, but it's certainly an interesting place to be. I wouldn't hold my breath for moderation on Threads, but I don't use it after the Charlie Kirk incident. Yeah, like I said, it's like literally just for work. I want to know if I can monetize it. Like, I need to monetize my Instagram. Even though I don't post there super often, I do want to at least have the option of getting donations there. Is Bradford the cum tree? So the Bradford pear is bad for several different reasons. First of all, it's an invasive species. Second of all, they grow in such a way that it's very easy for branches to snap off, which sucks. They're very hard to kill also, and they smell like literal shit. So the Bradford pear is pollinated by flies, not by bees, not by wasps. It's pollinated by flies, and it literally smells like shit. Like, and we have several of them right next to our house. So if there's a period of like 3 weeks in the springtime where I can't open my windows at all, which sucks because I live in the Pacific Northwest, and y'all know we love opening our windows. So yeah, so it was like 3 solid weeks in the spring last year where I just couldn't open my windows because it smelled like literal fucking dog shit. Or it smells like, sometimes they smell like fishy. I don't know. But so the point is they're attracting flies, and it sucks. Oh my God, they're terrible. Ugh. So they're just bad in all different ways. They're bad because they're invasive. They're bad because they break and harm private property. And they're bad because they literally smell like shit. There's no benefit to having them. They were planted here because they're ornamental, but they suck in every way possible. All my homies hate Bradford pears. Ooh, Kitty Tick, I hope you're having a good time on your land. That's so wonderful. Something you can do with Bradford pear trees is if you know anyone with some fruit trees, go cut all the limbs of the Bradford pear and graft the new pieces of good fruit trees to the trunk below the cuts. Paint white chalk paint on the trunk above and below the grafts, and the tree will focus and make faster growth. Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah. I personally, what I would do if I got a piece of land and there was any Bradford pears, here's what you do, okay? You get a chainsaw and you cut them off right there at the ground, And then you take your drill and you take the biggest drill bit or biggest paddle bit or whatever you have, and you drill down into the roots of it, and you just pack it full of salt and maybe a little bit of water. And that's what I would do if I had a Bradford tree. Why would a stinky tree be used as an ornamental tree? Girl, I don't know. Could you compost Bradford pears? Probably, I guess. Like if you cut all of it, I think the wood smells fine. Probably, like if you cut down a Bradford tree and then you wanted to use it as firewood, I don't think there's a problem. But it's the flowers. It's the flowers that smell bad, dude. Okay, so I just want you to know that there's a video. There's this guy who makes ice cream, and he made a Bradford pear ice cream. I'm assuming it's just in the trees. I can't remember. A tree that smells so terrible, I just had to turn it into ice cream. Is this the one that I'm thinking
6 months ago.
Hold on. Shush. Okay, yeah. So this dude, why salt? Dehydration? Yeah. So because even if you cut off a Bradford pear right at the base, the roots can still be alive. And so you drill down into the base of the trunk and you fill it with salt because that sucks up all the moisture out of the tree and it actually kills the roots. So anyway, this dude made ice cream from I think the flowers of the Bradford pear, and apparently it was terrible. So he has 2.1 million subscribers, which means I don't think I can watch his videos without my video getting nuked, but yeah. Everything used to smell like shit because we had horses. Okay, I have to push back on this a little bit. God bless you, Magar. I'm not mad at you or anything, but like horse shit doesn't really smell very bad. Anybody else? And I've been listen. I used to work at the Renaissance Festival every single year. I know what horse shit smells like. Horse shit, it's like it definitely has like a poopy thing going on to it, but it smells like fertilizer. You know, like it smells kind of good a little bit, versus Bradford pears. Literally, like when I say they smell like hot dog shit, I mean that, right? And dog shit is not fertilizer. Dog shit does not smell like fertilizer. So yeah, like this, just me personally, I don't think horse shit smells bad. As someone with horses, yes, it does smell bad. I wonder if it's dietary or something. Because, like, I mean, yeah, like, horse, I mean, it's still shit at the end of the day, but, like, it's not that bad. Horse shit is nothing by comparison to dog, cat, or pig shit. Ooh, okay, pig shit. Interesting. I don't think I've ever smelled pig shit. Cow pat is worse, IME, but usually it's hidden within the grass. Okay, yeah, sure, that's fair too. I grew up in a farming town. If there are not too many animals present, it never smells that bad. Even a large cattle herd isn't that bad. But if you drive past a factory farm over near Queen Creek, though, you want to die. Every time I drive through the state of Iowa, I don't know why, but it smells horribly like shit. Like every time I drive through Iowa, it's crazy. If you feed a horse Purina Chow, it gets rank. Yeah, that makes sense. It's dietary, I guess. Mama says that the Bradford pear is used ornamentally because probably some city planners went on Pinterest and searched pretty tree and never stuck around long enough to figure out the problem. Yeah. Before Pinterest, of course, but yeah, undoubtedly. Biggest part of the problem is, are you saying with Bradford pears, they love the environment, so they keep multiplying and going all over the place? Yeah, it's terrible. Poop smell tier list when? Did I tell you guys that for my birthday this year, the gift that I want to give myself is to go horseback riding. I've been on a horseback twice that I can recall. Both of the times where I was a child. Once was at a family reunion, but it was like they put you on a horse and then they led the horses on a trail, and so everybody's going at walking speed. You don't really need to direct the horse at all because it's just following the horse in front of it. So whatever. Like technically I rode a horse at that point. And then another time I went to visit my grandma who lived in Colorado, and her neighbor down the street had some horses. So I did get to be on a horse. That horse did try to make me fall off. He took me into a tree. Like there was a pine tree and it took me into the pine tree. It very clearly wanted me off its back. And I was like maybe 11 years old or something. So I didn't have the confidence or the skills to like tell the horse what to do. But now I'm an adult. I'm an adult in the fullness of my confidence. And I want to ride a horse, and I want to do it. So that's kind of my plan for my birthday. Go horseback riding again. I don't necessarily want to own a horse. Even if I own land, I'm not sure that I ever would want to truly own a horse. But I do think, man, and I want to be able to cut loose a little bit, right? Because I've never like ridden a horse at any speed. Obviously, I know it's dangerous. I know you need to be careful. You need to wear a helmet, blah, 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 blah. But I want to like experience it without that like, oh, I'm a tiny child and it's a giant fucking animal, you know? Like I know the basics of how to ride a horse. And now that I'm fully grown, I want to like actually do it. So yeah. That'll be in March when that's my birthday month. That's what some of the donation money is going toward. I'm going to save up for it. Show them the meaning of haste, Shadowfax. Exactly.
Malo_all has donated $5. Waited until I got home so I could log in from PC and donate on the website.
Thank you very much, Melatonin Ale. Melatonin Ale. For the $5 donation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like, ooh, here, we'll do this. Like, we get a little muscle every time we get a donation now that we've hit the donation goal. OMG, my sister has an amazing horse she just got. He's going to be a big, beautiful, mid-sized draft horse. I loved him, and I'm going to find him a girlfriend and get me a crossbreed. Hell yes. I think horses are fun. But we'll find out. I mean, it's been forever since I've even I've been around horses again, Renaissance Festival, but I haven't like really interacted with a horse in so long. And I know that they can be different personality-wise and everything. Oh my gosh. Helenolt says, try being on a horse for only the second time ever, at night, bareback, on the side of a mountain, when the horse decides to turn around and bolt cross-country for home. I managed to stay on. I feel like that's a circumstance that I would not be in. So many things about that. Like, first of all, I'm not going to ride a horse at night unless I'm very, 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 very familiar with riding a horse. I'm not going to ride it bareback. Horses are fun until you need to muck out stables. See, this is what I'm saying. I want to go rent a horse for an afternoon and then leave. It's like having children, you know? Except that I actually do want one for some stupid fucking reason. But like you know how you can borrow a child? Like you can babysit a child and then you can give it back at the end of that process? Or like you can visit someone who has a child and you can enjoy the child's presence, but then you can leave. That's what I want to do with a horse. I just want to go and rent a horse for an afternoon and maybe have someone give me the 411 on like how to be on the horse and provide me with a helmet and everything. And then I want them to say, okay, go have fun now for an hour, and maybe like that's the goal. That's the goal for me. But yeah, riding a horse at night, like horse gets spooked at nighttime. Scary. And then the horse can't fucking see the ground, and then the horse breaks its own ankle. Like, no, we're not dealing with this. Oh no, I tried riding a horse as a kid at my grandparents', and that's how I found out I'm allergic. Yikes. I taught my niece how to ride a skateboard, then promptly gave the child back to my sister. Wow. The influence that you get to have as an uncle is crazy. My only experience riding a horse was a 45-minute follow-along where every horse in front of me shat constantly, and then 5 minutes before the end, my own horse squatted like a dog and shat 20 pounds. Man, you should have been like, hey, let's run now. Because I bet that horse was like, like 20 pounds lighter, like, let's go. I have the land to just ride around the property most days and play cow they. I will take mucking a stable over cleaning another production kitchen. At least I can ride the horse after. True. Oh, I know the pain, Mama. Mama says, I recorded a video of 2 deer sparring with their antlers in our yard this morning, but I can't post it anywhere because I don't want to get doxxed by the outside of my home. Yeah. I don't post any pictures or video of the outside of my house or of my yard or anything in my neighborhood. Like, I will talk generally about features of my neighborhood because I think that that's like not very identifying. Like, but I totally understand. Yeah, it's a struggle. This is why I have a private Facebook. I have like my friends only Facebook, like people I actually know in real life only. So I can post some stuff on there, but even then I'm, more likely to just send stuff privately to people. So anyway, yeah. Just gonna casually become a writer of Rohan or whatever. You know how it is. Did you guys know that? So do you ever feel like watching a movie, if you know any of the behind the scenes stuff, does it like help or hurt your enjoyment of the movie? Because it's like my little special interest. When I'm watching like Lord of the Rings, I'm like, and that's where Viggo Mortensen broke his toe. And I'm like, and that's where fucking Sean Astin stepped on glass. And the writers of Rohan, it's like, I'm looking at them and I can see their little glued on beards because almost all of the writers of Rohan were women. Like, the actors were all women because like women own horses. Like more women own horses apparently. Like apparently there's a thing. Yeah, the riders of Rohan identified by the sound of their clapping cheeks approaching. True. Stormy Girl says, you can take a picture of the grass only facing straight down and somehow people will find where you live through that. There is like an ineffable quality to different parts of the world. I remember watching Unus Annus, one of the episodes during the initial quarantine, which happened during Unus Annus. Crazy. They did whatever that game is called where is it Geo? I don't know, whatever. You look and see if you can identify where a place is by it just randomly drops you somewhere on like Google Earth and you click around a little bit and then you have to, is it GeoGuessr? You have to guess where you are. And I remember them doing that and they dropped down in a place and I was like, that's Kansas. And I don't know what exactly it was, but they were in Kansas. Like it was in like southeast Kansas. And GeoGuessr. So yeah, there is something about the like where you're at that if you've been there, there's something recognizable, or if you've studied Google Earth, then you can see it. But like, hey, guess what? Fucking surprise! I live near Portland. So I don't think that you're gonna get much more precise if I just do a picture of the grass, like, or a picture of moss. Like, okay, congratulations, I live near Portland. Everybody fucking knows that. But I wouldn't post like, hey, here's the Wendy's that I went to, or anything like that. Like I would not post something of that level of detail. Bloody Hatter says, I hung out with a friend's horse once. It was pretty cool. He thought I was going to ride it, but I just hung out and talked to the horse. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Mama says behind the scenes stuff affects the quality of the watching experience based on the quality of the production itself. Like, for example, there's lots of cool stuff in the behind the scenes for Lord of the Rings, but then you go watch Community and you think about all the behind the scenes drama and it's sad. Yeah. And I did ask you guys recently, apparently by the end of The Office, all of the actors hated each other. And does that affect your enjoyment of it? Like if you're supposed to be watching something where ostensibly everybody is friends, if you found out that they all actually hated each other, does that damage your enjoyment? And I think that for a lot of people, yes, for sure. Even though you already know they're actors, they're doing a job, they're acting within the role and they're doing their thing and everything. But yeah, finding out that it's a toxic work environment. So I don't know if it's necessarily that you're finding out that they don't actually like each other and that's what breaks the immersion, or if you're finding out that it was a toxic work environment and that's what makes it hard to enjoy. I do think that that might be more what it's like. I was at that stage of dealing with PTSD that hanging out in a barn with a horse was the perfect thing for me. I did see that there was one horse place I was looking at that did they were like, we do horse therapy. We specialize in having disabled kids come and interact with the horses. And I'm like, that's not what I want. I don't want, I guess it's fine, to have a horse that's trained to be around people who might behave erratically. But I know I'm going to be calm. Like I said, I want to gallop on a horse. I'm not saying I want to fully sprint. I don't know what all the words mean. What are all the words for horseback riding? What of the speed? Words for speed of horse. Okay, I guess a gallop is the fastest one. Okay, a walk. A walk is the slowest one. A trot is slightly faster. The canter is a little bit faster. Or wait, is this not even about fastness? It's just about the legs and the movement of the legs? A gallop could be compared to a full-out run, like a racehorse, for example. Okay, so I guess I want to at least get to a canter. At least a canter. But I would kind of like to, listen, I want to, listen, what happens if you're let's go, fucking, I kind of want to experience the speed. Maybe I will have to go horseback riding twice next year, because maybe the first time they don't want me to go with speed. I don't know. I love how much of a freak I get to be on this show. Can I just say that I know how much of an absolute fucking freak I am, and thank you very much for being here to just hear me talk about I want to run fast on a horse. Anyway, I'm gonna need to drink more water. I didn't even know all the speeds had names. Yo, there are so many different words for horses. There's different kinds of horses and different configurations of horse that all have words, and speeds of a horse have apparently in Western versus English there's they're different words for the horse's speeds. I'm looking at this website that says the gaits slowly increase in speed from the walk to the gallop. The speed of the walk is about 4 miles per hour on average. The trot is slightly faster, averaging 8 to 12 miles per hour. The canter is 12 to 15 miles per hour. And the average speed of a gallop is 25 to 35. So there is a whole gap there between 15 miles per hour and 25 miles per hour where there isn't really a name for it. Holy shit, racing horses can reach speeds of over 40 miles per hour. And the fastest recorded speed for a thoroughbred racehorse is 44 miles per hour. The fastest recorded speed for all horses is 55 miles an hour. Can you imagine being on a horse and going highway speeds? Like, you can, like, imagine keeping up with a car on the highway, on a country highway at 55 miles per hour. But still, gotta learn how to shift all the horse gears. True. IMHO, gallop is better than the rest because with a good horse, you feel like you're flying above the ground. Yes. Do horses mosey? Dude, so, man, Gayfesh isn't here. I don't think so anyway. So I was going to say, there was a Star Trek movie, Star Trek Generations, which is the movie, it's like the first Star Trek The Next Generation movie, but we do have James Kirk in it, Captain Kirk. So it's kind of the bridge movie between the TOS and the TNG movies. And at one point they are riding horses together and they stop, and like Kirk makes his horse like step sideways to like sidle up to Picard and like say something to him. And I was like, dang, I don't know why, but that seemed like, oh, that's some real high level horse control. That you can make your horse, like, just step to the left a little bit. Like, I don't know. Do Japanese domestic horses drift? Ha! Ha 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 ha. I also watched, fucking, Jesus, what was it called? There was an anime. What was it called? My dad watched it, and my dad had an RX-7. What the fuck was it called? I'm trying to remember. Don't tell me. Shh. Don't tell me. Initial D. Got it. Boom. Got it. Thank you. I also watched Initial D. I'd rather just never go within 20 feet of a horse. They're so scary. Listen. Especially if they're not broken, but I'm like, a horse that somebody owns, especially if they raised it, and if it's already used to being ridden and everything, yeah, I think that is, it's more comfortable. I'm not saying I want to go break a wild horse or anything. Those side steps are taught in dressage. Okay. How many times you've been riding? I've only been riding twice. Both of the times I was a child. But I know the basics, and I feel confident that I would be able to just do it. Of course, anytime you go to a place and you're like, it's the first time I've ridden a horse in like 15, 20 years, they're going to be like, okay, we need to run over some basics with you. So again, I might need to go twice in order to do what I want to do, which is go fast. But yeah, I'm willing to spend money and go twice if I have to. I guess what's going to happen is I'm probably going to go like on a date with my partner for my birthday, and we're going to go ride horses. So I hope I can do it in March. I know it's still going to be like the wet, rainy season in March, but I do want to do it for my birthday. Am I going to have to wait until the summertime? Because it's going to be like, it's going to be like muddy, and maybe the horse is going to like slip and fall if I'm not careful, if it's muddy. I'm upset now. I just considered I might have to wait until the summer. I wonder how quickly you could bond with the horse for them to feel comfy enough to go fast. I mean, I get the general impression that, like, again, horses that are, like, being ridden by the public are just, like, not bothered by people in general, especially if you're slow and everything. But hey, maybe I would have to actually have a relationship with a horse in order to ride fast. I don't know. I'll find out. Bring your staff and cloak. I have both of those things. Why are you stuck? Why in the world are you stuck? This is my staff. But I don't want to scare a horse. I have a bunch of dangly stuff on my staff, so I don't want to, like, upset a horse. You like my staff? Isn't it cool? It's, like, wrapped with leather. This used to be blue, and then I left it in my car, and it turned almost black from the heat. And it's got little, like, all of the little knots on it are, like, kind of heart-shaped. Like, little heart-shaped guys. And I put a ferrule on it. So, I could go hiking with this. Or harm someone. yeah. Don't shake it too much. You might cast a spell. True. That's what it's for, though. This is a spell of warding for fucking bears. That's the whole point of why I put janglies and danglies on here, is so that if I'm walking in the woods, I can just not run into a bear. And I do have a cloak. I wore it recently, too. Ha ha ha. I could also pick up trash with it. That's true. Paper trash, anyway. Horses' eyes are way too big. It freaks me out. I don't know why. Other people who are scared of horses say it's because it's a half-ton animal that could kill you, but it's the eyes for me for some reason. Oh yeah, I gotta say, don't walk behind a horse. Even if it's a perfectly trained horse. Don't ever walk directly behind a horse. Not smart. Not a smart move. You just cursed me with chronic explosive diarrhea. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. If you ever want to see some crazy horse handling, like some real art, check out the Cadre Noir de Sommer. It has been recognized as UNESCO World Heritage. It's an institution that's over 200 years old. Oh, well, let me look it up. Cadre Noir de Sommer. Okay. A public establishment created in 1972 around the Cadre Noir in Sommer, France, with the aim of training senior equestrian executives. Okay. Cool. I do like horses. Half-ton plus animal that could kill me by accident is a big part of why I want to admire them at a distance rather than very close. Yeah. Like I said, I'm relying on the idea that the horse already is used to being around people all the time. Do you like being in front of the camera or producing better? Not sure if I've ever heard your answer on this. I mean, they're different for different reasons, right? I do not want to be on camera as often as I produce. So, like, I produce 3+ days a week. I would not, and like several days in a row. I don't really love being on camera multiple days in a row. It takes a totally different kind of energy. Sometimes I get really, really, really tired after these streams because I'm talking for 3 consecutive hours. Just like yap. It's a little bit easier if I'm on the line because I have a co-host and a caller, so I'm like trading. But even when I'm not talking, I'm still performing. Like, I'm still on camera. My facial reactions are still subject to scrutiny, and I still have this bright fucking light in my face and everything. So I like them for different reasons. And it's like, I would not want to be on camera every day, but I could easily produce every day. Like, it's really not a huge problem. If I'm producing for callers who are like taking, sometimes some of our hosts will take like 45-minute calls. And so I can literally just be like, okay, I'm half paying attention to that. And then I'm going to edit my own videos. So in that way, it's pretty laid back. I mean, I'm still paying attention and I'm still present. If there's a tech issue, I'm here, I'm working on it. But there is a level of like, I literally don't have to pay attention to this fucker. Like, if they're talking about the Bible or something, a lot of the times I will just legitimately check out. And I'm like not listening at all until suddenly someone's like, okay, well, we'll talk to you later. And I'm like, okay, let me change the lower third, So I wouldn't say I like either of them better than the other. It's just a matter of like which one I am able to do more consistently, I guess. So it's nice to be able to trade off as well. So I've got my stream on Sundays, and then I produce Sunday evenings, and then produce the next 2 days. And then I have my show today, and then Thursdays I will often have Takis, but not always. So it's just nice to be able to kind of go back and forth between the two tasks. But I wouldn't say that I strongly prefer one over the other. I guess if I could, I don't know, man. If they needed me to produce every single day, would I stop live streaming on my own stream? That's a question that would be difficult for me to answer. Because I do enjoy it. Listen, I enjoy yapping. I'm a yapper. As much as it can sometimes be exhausting, and as much as I sometimes get annoyed about all the political stuff, listen, we talked about politics at the beginning of this stream, and now I'm talking about fucking horses. So clearly, like, there is a level of like, let me talk about whatever I want to talk about, and there will be a bunch of people who want to sit here and listen to me talk. That's great. I love that. So yeah, it's just different stuff. On the tech issue front, it seems like a lot of people that are talking against Trump are getting attacked by YouTube specifically. Do you think they're doing something against us? No, I don't think it's YouTube. I think it's a mass reporting by users, which I do wish that there were more stop gaps on the YouTube side. Like, okay, if we suddenly get like a bunch of reports that this YouTube channel, especially one like Seth Andrews' channel, he's had that channel for years. It hasn't ever had issues. It has a decent number of subscribers. If he suddenly gets like several thousand reports that it's spam, I think that there should be something that kicks in that says, hey, YouTube, you need to treat this like it's likely a targeted attack and go do a manual review instead of just like automatically suspending the channel. So I do think that I wish that there were more protections in that way, but it is a benefit that we are in a huge network of people who all have their own audiences. So we were able to get, Matt was involved and John Gleason was involved, and like all of these different people tagging in YouTube and saying, hey, you need to do a manual review on this so that bring his channel back. So yeah, Seth Andrew has his whole channel deleted for 24 hours and then gets it back. So, we have the kind of institutional backing, and also the line is big enough that we have a contact at YouTube. Like, I don't. My channel is too small. I don't have a contact at YouTube. But if something happened to my channel, I have an entire network of people who can go, hey, this is fucked up. This channel needs to be reinstated. And I know at least one person who has a direct contact at YouTube. So we would be able to get it figured out. We'd be able to get it sorted. Mama says, sometimes I see a clip from the line and one host is doing most of the talking, so we get to see the other host go on a face journey. It's very funny. Yeah. See, like, that's part of the entertainment value, is like sometimes maybe I'm not talking, but I'm sitting here going like I'm making faces, I'm responding, I'm doing, I'm not the kind of person who's just going to be like dead faced there while I'm not talking, because it's part of the performance. I'm on. If I'm on camera, I'm on, and I don't turn off until I'm off camera, which is also why I sometimes take a break midstream. Earlier, I changed my shirt, so I got my little like, okay, I'm going to kind of power down my face and my expressions for a second and, go pee or whatever. So yeah, it just requires different levels of energy and different skills. Do you have any recs on how to produce a call-in show like On the Line? Oh my God, Emma. I mean, we use vMix, and the entire infrastructure was all set up before I got there. So there was an entire process of like building the scenes, if you want to call them scenes. That's what we call them in Streamlabs, where you're like switching between, like, okay, if I was switched over here and showed you, here's this thing from Cadre Noir. Okay, cool, great. And then I switch back. Like, those are scenes in Streamlabs. So all of that stuff was already built for me, and I had to learn how to use it and like switch. And I still have stuff that I need to set up. Like, Jimmy sent me what the fuck is that called? Stream Deck. And I don't have that set up yet to use it on the things that I need to use it for, to like change the Chiron and things like this. So it's fucking complicated, and then once you get used to it, you're like, okay, I need to press this button at this time. I still fuck up sometimes and press the wrong button, but yeah, I don't know how to explain how to produce it from scratch, but here's basically what you do. Okay, so I log on to the computer and I go to YouTube and I find the live stream that we're doing today. And then I open vMix and I double check that the stream key is accurate. And then I open vMix Social. I open Call-In Studio. I get my YouTube chat ready. I get my super chat stuff ready because like vMix Social is what helps us track the super chats. So like I get all of that stuff set up and I put it in the right place on my screen. So I'm like, okay, one of my screens has vMix and my other screen has all the thing that I use to edit the names of the callers as they call in, the Call-In Studio page, the YouTube chat, and the thing that I use to keep track of super chats. So then I have to like send out a link to the people who are going to be streaming, like the hosts. I send a link to the hosts. I use that link now that we're doing Zoom. I use my own computer to log into the Zoom to double check, okay, did my camera show up? Can I hear everything and everything? So once that's done, I log off of this Zoom call and then I sit there and wait for the people to show up. And I get Call-In Studio going and I contact the call screener and I say, hey, are you ready to get started? Let's fucking go. And then the hosts come in and we make sure everything's working. I sometimes have to toggle people's cameras on and off to make it work. I then do a test call where I use my own phone and I call in and I bring myself into the call and I go, hey guys, can you hear me? And they say, yes, we can hear you. And I go, great. And then when the show's about to start, one of the buttons on my keyboard puts it on the like merch page. So I put it on the merch page and then I hit start stream. And then once I confirm that the live stream is running, I press another button on my keyboard that switches the scene over to the intro song. And then at the end of the intro song, I press another button on my keyboard that switches to the two hosts on the camera sing. And that like gradually the music gets quieter. And then I press another button that brings up the lower third of their names, which I adjust at the beginning. I right click and I adjust and make sure that it's got the correct names on there. And then for the duration of the show, what I do is as the super chats come in, I click them and add them to the queue so that at the end of the show, I can do all the super chats. And as the callers come in, like once the caller screens them and puts them in the queue, I type in their names in the little web page that I can put their names in there and their pronouns and everything. And then when they say, hey, and now we're bringing on this caller, welcome, so-and-so, you're live on the line, blah, blah, blah. And then I click a button that brings up their name and it does a little nice transition into their name. And then the main thing that I have to do at that point is pay attention to the super chats, or like I change the poll in the chat, or like I post links in the chat, like to try to get people to click on Patreon or try to get people to maybe if we have a guest, especially, I'll be like, hey, check out our guest's YouTube channel and things like this. And then sometimes I can kind of stop paying attention and then I hear, okay, well, thanks for calling, da-da-da. And I go, oh, and then I press the button that switches back to the lower third that says, here are the two host names. And that's kind of rinse and repeat until the end of the show, at which point they go, okay, we're ready to do super chats. And I go, okay. And then that's a very involved part of the show where I have to pay a lot of attention. And I click a button on my page or on my keyboard that goes, hey, let's put the two hosts over here and bring up the super chats. And then I have to manually click each super chat that I've put on the queue previously. And then like then when they get done reading them, I have to like have a sense of when they're done reading the next one. And then I'm like, okay, here's the next one. Or if they're taking too long, sometimes I'll be like, I'll post up the next one before they're done talking because I'm like, hey, get in here and do it. Like, do the next one. And then at the end of the show, they say, okay, we're done. And I go, boop, and I press a button that brings up the credits. And then the patron credits scroll by. And then when they're done, I press a button that fades to black and says patreon.com/calltheline. And then once I double check that the stream has caught up to that point, I end the stream. And then the stream is over. And then I usually go back into vMix and I pull up their cameras again and I say, hey guys, good show. You did a good job. Wasn't that crazy? And then we all say, good night. Bye-bye. And then that's the end of the show. I don't know if any of that is useful information for anybody, because a lot of that, like a lot of the technical parts of it, I just glossed over. Like, hey, I press a button where somebody else already set up. Like, hey, it switches from this to this. Like, okay, well, I just have to press a button. So yeah, that's pretty much what production is like. Like yesterday, oh my God, yesterday I was screaming. On Chewed Gum last night, we had a call who was like, he called in and wanted to say, I think men have it worse than women do. And then we spent 50 minutes talking to him, and I was malding in the chat. I was like, oh my God, does this guy not know about credit cards? And like, just screaming. So those are my least favorite calls. The calls where I'm like, I wish that I was on this call right now. And there is a temptation sometimes for me to just take my earbud out and be like, I'm just going to watch Call-In Studio, and when I see that they've dropped this person, I will put my earbud back in. I don't get to that level, actually, of disengaging from the content, but I do kind of wish that I could sometimes. Like, somebody ping me when you're done talking to this asshole, because I don't want to fucking be involved. Like, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to be here. Those are just frustrating calls, because I'm a host and I want to say something, but I'm producing, and so I'm not supposed to. So, yeah, it's great. Anyway. That dude pissed me off. I know. I hated it. Did you guys don't know that on Monday someone called in and they dropped out, so we didn't get to have oh my God, so fun. The conversation would have been, women consent to pregnancy as soon as they consent to sex. Great. I was like, wow, I'm so excited to have to sit here through this conversation where 3 cis men talk about this. Yikes. But thankfully he dropped out and then didn't call back. So trying to say circumcision is worse than having to deal with a period every month for the majority of our life. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Listen, and I do want to say, like, circumcision is bad and completely unjustified unless you literally have like a blocked urethra. Okay, like, I get it. Like, sometimes there is a super medically necessary reason, but in most cases, it's completely medically unnecessary and is just traumatizing for no reason. And it does seem to change things about brain chemistry, and hurt people. So, like, I'm not trying to say that circumcision is good and fine and okay and not a big deal, which I do think that sometimes people do kind of brush it off, and I don't think that that's okay. I think it causes... It seems to cause issues with pain processing for the rest of your life, and it does cause intimacy issues, and there is an entire Reddit community of men who are trying to get their foreskin to grow back, or who wear a little silk sock over their penis all day because it's like frictioning on the inside of their pants and making them less sensitive, and then they have to like really jerk it hard and rough in order to come, and it's like a whole fucking problem. Like, I get it. I understand that it's a problem. And also, I really don't think that that's comparable to like the points that they brought up. And dude, he had to completely drop the whole healthcare thing. He pivoted completely. He pivoted hard to college because, and I wish that they had been like, no, you need to sit here and admit that women have it worse medically. Like, I will agree that circumcision is bad, but you need to admit here that women have it worse medically, because like Alyssa was saying, women go to the hospital with symptoms of a heart attack and they get sent home being told it's just anxiety. And women die. Women are more likely to die from a heart attack because of that. So, and then that's also not addressing that, like, it's really hard to get pain management when you're getting a biopsy. Like, my friend, who ended up having to get hysterectomy, but like they did a biopsy on her cervix and they like cut, okay, I'm sorry, this is graphic. They cut off parts of her cervix with no pain management. Like, I think they gave her ibuprofen, but like so it's not even stuff like birth control, but also like they did my IUD and they yanked around my organ with a claw and didn't even warn me that that was a thing that could happen, that they might need to yank my organ with a claw. And if they had told me beforehand, I would have been like, never mind, I will get another form of birth control. But they don't communicate. They don't bother to offer you pain control. People give birth without any pain control. Like, they give women the husband stitch without their consent. There's just a mountain of things where women obviously have it worse. And so it's just not fucking cool. And he did give up after 15 minutes of that conversation and pivoted to like, well, there's more women in college now. Like, okay, well, they didn't used to be allowed to be in college, and they didn't used to be allowed to get divorced, and they didn't used to be allowed to hold a bank account or a credit card. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it was just the most frustrating conversation I've had to sit through for a while. Pregnant lady who worked at the hospital showed up with pre-stroke symptoms and was sent home. The rest of the story is literally history now. Are you referring to the woman who they kept her decaying body alive because her fetus was 9 weeks along, and now that baby is like 6 months old and still has a lot of really intense health issues? Or are we talking about a different one? The world is a terrible place. I was kind of gratified because I put up a poll in the chat during that call. I was like, who has it worse, men or women? And then I decided to, offhand throw non-binary people in there, and non-binary people won the poll. Like, so non-binary people have it worse than women or men. Yeah, also, lots of medicines are only tested on male subjects, so we have no idea how the medicine even affects women. Like, it wasn't a requirement to include women in clinical studies for a very long time. I can't speak for everyone, but circumcision ain't that bad to deal with after the fact. Listen, like, I get it. My partner's circumcised. We have a healthy sex life, okay? It's not like it's impossible for you to have satisfying sex and orgasms, but like, we are now studying the effect that doing circumcision has on young boys, and like their pain response is different, the ones that we do that to. And someone corrected me and said that they do use anesthesia, but I was like, what do you, like, I was under the impression that you cannot put infants under anesthesia because they could just stop breathing. Like, it's very dangerous to put them under anesthesia. So yeah, I don't know. Like, and there are circumcisions that aren't done with anesthesia in the form of a bris. Like, a bris is done without anesthesia because it's not done by a fucking medical professional. Yeah, we didn't even discuss endometriosis, where like women are told that their pain is not real and it's just anxiety or it's just normal period pain, and then they die and there's an autopsy and they have scar tissue throughout their entire abdomen. So many fucking things. So anyway, here's my rant. Since I didn't get to talk about it yesterday on stream, here's my little rant about it on my show. God, it's so hard to sit through those conversations. They can use local but not general unless they really need to with infants. Yeah. That's true. Circumcision's effects can be bad if she later transitions and has insufficient penile tissue to create a neovagina. That's true. But also penile inversion is not the only technique. So, good to keep in mind. Yeah. It's been really crazy lately having these arguments with people who are trying to say that I support the mutilation of genitals of children, but they're the ones who are pro-circumcision. I'm going to start hammering on this on a regular basis. If people are like, I'm against child transition, I'm going to just start being like, okay, are you pro-circumcision? Because only one person here is supporting doing surgery on babies' genitals, and it's you. So who the fuck are you to talk to me about this? Yeah. Anyway. Shit's crazy out there, yo. Shit's crazy. I am working on some more clips to upload from the previous month or two of streams. So be on the lookout for like some spicy calls probably being uploaded on this channel. Oh, and if you didn't see, I re-uploaded my True Blood video. I think a lot of people really liked it, but I re-uploaded my True Blood video on my Musing Moss channel, and it hasn't really gotten very many views, so if you missed it last time especially, it's a fun little video. I watched all of True Blood, and I remembered how the entire thing is a big allegory for gay rights, the gay civil rights struggle. God hates fangs, for example. And ultimately, I do think it has a positive trans rights message. So the title of the video is True Blood Said Trans Rights. And I really encourage you to go watch it because I thought it was a little fun. I thought it was fun show, fun time, fun video. And I'm also going to be watching White Chicks soon. I'm planning on watching it probably tomorrow. And making a video about White Chicks, which I think is, again, going to be a fun little dumb fucking video. So those are some things that I'm going to be doing soon. I don't know, what is everybody else going to be doing? It's fucking January, so I feel like there's not a lot of exciting stuff going on right now. I'm going to be going to Seattle soon to see my friend Dizzy and kind of hang out. And like, yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, God Hates Fangs is so on the nose. The whole thing is so on the nose. And if you want to learn more about it, go watch my video on Musing Moss. I thought it was just another vampire romance show. Listen, it's definitely trashy and horny. Very, very horny, very trashy, but the whole thing is very clearly, like, so many things about it are allegorical to the gay rights struggle. So, yeah. Very, very fun. And there's 7 seasons of it, so you're signing up for quite a lot of time in there. If you want excitement, I put on a protest yesterday over my city removing the rainbow crosswalk. It's in the news. Hell yeah. Gonna be making music and attending and making doctor's appointments. Yeah, I'm gonna be making some doctor's appointments myself. I'm gonna get evaluated for POTS and got a bunch of other, I've like got blood work and stuff that I need to do. So that's gonna be fun. Ooh, you just got here right at the end. I'm so sorry, more than VT. It's been 3 hours and now I'm gonna go. So love how you included a brat option in the poll. I got you. I know what you are. I see. You don't want to anger mother. Okay, well, that's pretty much all I got for today. Thank you for listening to me be an insane person for a while. I gotta know, are hornies also another furry adjacent group like Scalies? Not that I know of, but maybe. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna go now. Much love to everyone. And I will see you all Sunday. Or I think tomorrow I'm on Calling It Now. So, Predestination. What is Predestination about? Predestination. Ethan Hawke movie. Time traveling agent. Does it have any queer themes or trans themes or what's the deal? Queer themes, trans themes. Ethan Hawke movie. It says Jane/John. Is there a trans thing happening in here? I'm not seeing anything in the initial. Oh, hold on. John was found on the steps of a Cleveland orphanage in 1945 where he was mistaken to have been born a girl and given the name Jane. Okay, so there is a trans thing happening here. Okay, well, I'll look into it. I'll put it on the list. Thank you very much for the recommendation. Yeah, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So thanks everybody for the donations, for hanging out, for hitting the like button, all that stuff. And I'm gonna go power down now. Power down.